Hi, and welcome to this new episode in which you're going to learn how to sing better in less than 10 minutes a day. Let's dive into it. Hi, welcome to this episode in which you will learn how to sing better in less than 10 minutes a day. I am super excited that you're here, especially knowing that many beginner singers make the mistake of just turning on the radio or Spotify, and they tend to happily sing along with songs without really thinking about what they're actually doing with their voices. And you're here, which means that's not you. Also, many beginner singers, they don't have a consistent practice when it comes to singing. So they just tend to sing whenever they have free time or whenever they have the desire to sing, while trained singers, they tend to handle things a little bit different. So once you know that these mistakes are being made by beginner singers, the fact that, you don't have a consistent practice or that you might just turn on Spotify and sing along with your favorite artist, once you notice these mistakes, that's when you can actually do something about that. And that's when we're getting into the world of the trained and the confident singer. And my mission is to get you there in that world. And that trained singer has a very specific and efficient practice session. Now, in the Singing Insiders, which is our community for passionate singers to up-level their singing, that's where we're really diving deep into the 4 different phases of what that practice session can look like. Now, today we're going to go through a part of that framework, but that's for later today. Another thing that a trained singer does is consistency. So many beginner singers, they think that they can sing for 2 hours on the weekend and then that's it. Trained singers, they know that consistency is key. So it's better to practice every day for 10 minutes, for example, instead of 1 hour on the weekend. The more you repeat certain exercises, the more they will be absorbed into your muscle memory. And that's what we want, okay? So as you might know, we always operate from 4 big pillars. We have the mindset pillar, all about confidence and inner freedom. We have the vocal technique pillar, all about vocal freedom and being able to sing anything that you want. We have the creativity pillar, which is all about showing and sharing and singing your song in your own unique and authentic way. And then we have the connection pillar, which is all about how can I connect with my listener? And for some of us, that's through performance. For others, that's through singing covers of songs, whatever that might be for you. Now, today we're diving deep into that vocal technique pillar, the second one, which is all about training your voice. So here is what you can do in less than 10 minutes a day. If you're doing the exercises that we're going to be covering today, every day, which is going to take you less than 10 minutes, you're going to notice significant improvement in your singing. Now, just to give you a little bit of context, these exercises are really a part of the 4 phases of the vocal technique pillar. So as I told you, we have the 4 big pillars. The second one is a vocal technique pillar. And within that, we have 4 phases to get to vocal freedom, which is being able to sing anything that you want, whenever you want that. So focusing on those 4 phases of the vocal technique pillar will actually help you develop your voice way faster because you're working from this super structured and super efficient framework. So let's dive into it. All right, so the first phase of the vocal technique pillar is all about the foundations of singing. And one of the main things that you need to master if you want to be a great singer is your breath support and being able to activate your diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to be doing one exercise to do that together. And again, if you do this every day, you're going to notice significant improvement. So one exercise that you can do is this one. He, 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 ha, 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 ha. And you need to know that with every he, he, or ha, your tummy or your abdominal muscles will become active. So for every he, 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 ha, ha, you should see your belly go up and down. We're training our abdominal muscles. We're activating our diaphragmatic breathing. Let's try and do that together. Here we go. And he, ha. Let's continue. He, ha. Nice. He, ha. Keep those muscles active. He, ha. Last one. He, ha. Beautiful. So that is phase 1. That's the foundation, breath support. Now, phase 2 of the vocal technique pillar is all around registers. And again, today I'm not going to dive deep into the theory and the why and the how, like all those things we've talked about before. Today's episode really is focused on the practical stuff and actual exercises. So we're going to be doing an exercise to transition between registers. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I invite you to go back to previous episodes talking about the power of mixed voice, of head voice and chest voice and all those things. If you are a Singing Insider member, if you're part of our membership, then please go and check out module 2, which is all about registers and activating your chest voice, your head voice, and your mixed voice. So for this exercise, we're going to use 2 syllables, the ah and the oo. Now, when we're in an ah sound, we want to activate our chest voice, which is this kind of sound. And when we're in an oo, we want to be activating our head voice, which is a yoo-hoo, that kind of sound. So let's try and do it together. The exercise goes like this. Ah, ooh, ah. So I'm starting in chest on the ah, then I'm switching to head voice, ooh, going back to chest, ah. And that is the crucial part of this exercise. Many beginner singers, they tend to stay stuck in head voice. Ah, ooh, ah. They kind of tend to stay there. We want to make sure we come back to chest voice. And in the beginning, that's going to be easy. The more we move up the scale, the harder that will be. So let's try and do that together. Here we go. And ah, ooh, ah, and ah, ooh, ah. Ah, ooh, ah. Make sure to come back to chest. Ah, ooh, ah. Ah, ooh, ah. Ah, ooh, ah. Beautiful. Ah, ooh, ah. Come back to chest. Ah, ooh, ah. Ah, ooh, ah. Last one. Ah, ooh, ah. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's where it might get dangerous. Some singers, they tend to do ah, ooh, ah, and then they kind of stay in head voice. We really want to make sure that you come back to chest voice, because that's the whole practice, switching between one register to another. So that's phase 2. We had phase 1, which is the foundations, breath support. Phase 2, which is all about registers. Now phase 3 is all about shaping the color of your sound and making it sound like you want it to sound. See, many singers, they think and they believe that your voice is your voice and that there's nothing that you can do to change it. However, the truth is that the color of your voice can be changed, and there are some techniques that can help you with that. You can make your voice sound sharper, brighter, or darker, warmer, and that is what this next exercise is all about. So first, we're going to be focusing on warmth. And warmth is really created by making space in the mouth. And again, I'm not going to dive deep into the details. If you're a Singing Insider member, definitely go through module 3. That will tell you all about that. But for now, so that we can put this into practice right away, otherwise we're going to be talking here for hours, I invite you to imagine that you're biting into a big apple. So what happens when I do that? My vocal tract will open up. So my soft palate will lift all the way, and the back of my throat is going to open up, creating more space. More space means more warmth and more depth into your sound. So with that idea of I'm biting in a big apple, I'm going to be singing. So if I'm talking like this is the bite position, by the way. We're going to be doing ma. So try and keep it big. Here we go. And ma. Beautiful. Ma. Keep it big at the back. Ma. So that was openness. We can also work on sharpness. Sharpness, that's where we're going to create a smaller space in our mouths. So for this, we're going to work with the sound E. And my invitation to you would be to place that E in the front of your mouth. So make your lips very broad, like a creepy smile. So smiling all the time. So we're going to go for an horizontal mouth shape instead of vertical. And try to place your sound forward. So just to test this out so that you can test it with me, give me a yee, 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 yee. Can you try that? And again, we're keeping that very broad mouth position. Let's try that together. Here we go. Yee, 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 yee. Yes, beautiful. It's a very different sound than oh, right? So let's put that into practice, and we're just going to do some slides. So we're going to be doing E. Let's do it together. E, and keep it sharp. E. So we don't want to do E, where we're going more dark. We don't want to have that. We want to keep it sharp and light. Here we go. And E. E. Beautiful. E. E. Last one. E. Beautiful, beautiful. So we looked at this third phase, which was all about shaping the color of your sound. What we've really done here is using two techniques that allow you to create a warmer sound and a sharper sound. Now, obviously, there are many more colors to discover in between that, but this is a start. So as I said, if you only have about 10 minutes a day, it's great to focus on these 4 phases of the vocal technique pillar. We've already covered the first one, which is breath support. Second one was registers. Third one is the color of your voice. Now the fourth one, that's the fun one. It's what I call the phase of flexibility. And that's where we're really going to look at what are all the extras that we can add. So in this phase, we're looking at techniques that can help you enhance your sound, but are not necessarily necessary to sing in a healthy way. So it's kind of like the cherry on top on a pie, or the chocolate sprinklers on your ice cream. It's nice to have, but not a necessity. So one exercise here that we can do is activating your vibrato. Another thing that we can play with in this phase is vocal effects. We can also play with dynamics, belting and stuff. But so for today, we're just going to focus on one of those. Let's focus on vibrato, which is having that beautiful tremble in your voice when you're singing. So let me give you an example. A straight note would be if I add some vibrato, we have do you hear that? So in order to get to that place, it's important that we focus and we work on the flexibility of your larynx. So that's our next little piece. So what we're going to be doing is alternating between two notes. Let's choose these ones. On an E, if you prefer a different vowel, you can choose a different vowel. But we're going to be doing E. So what am I doing here? I'm starting alternating between the two notes, and then I'm going faster and faster and faster. And there comes a point in time where you will lose control. That's when you're letting go, and that's where the vibrato should appear. Now, it could be, and this is difficult, this is a more advanced vocal technique, obviously, but if you don't have the vibrato appear, there's nothing wrong with you, that's normal. This is just one way to activate it. And actually, there are many different elements that need to be in place before we can actually get to the vibrato. That's why this is the last phase of the vocal technique pillar. So today we're doing the exercise, but you might not be, your voice might not be ready for that yet, and that's okay. The idea here is that we're doing one exercise of each phase so that we can keep growing over time, okay? So it might be a challenge for you, and that's totally okay. That's totally cool. It's totally fine. The more you do it, you'll notice that you're going to see progress. Okay, let's try that together. Here we go. And E. Nice. Let's take that a little bit higher. Here we go. And E. Nice. Let's do one without me so that you can hear your voice and your vibrato. Here we go. And E. Nice. Okay, so now if you're watching on YouTube, obviously you can see me, but if you're listening on the podcast, I was directing you to go into the vibrato. If you need any visual cue, definitely go check out our YouTube channel. Let's do a last one right here. And beautiful. And again, this is challenging technique, that last one. Anyway, I hope that worked for you. My invitation to you would be to keep focusing on those 4 phases: breath support, registers, vocal color, and then you can add any of those little cherry on top exercises to make your voice sound even more unique. And if you do that every day for less than 10 minutes, then I can guarantee you that you will notice progress in your singing. So I challenge you to do this every day for a week. And if you do go and you say, yes, I'm doing the challenge with you, please drop it in the comments so that I can follow up with you and hear how your experience was. If you do want to move forward with this, if you're curious about the Singing Insiders, which is our membership for passionate singers to develop themselves and become a better singer, then definitely check out the link in the description below to help you with that. We also have a free training coming up, diving deep into the world of vocal technique, which I would highly, highly, highly recommend because what we've done today is surface level. What we're doing in that free training goes way deeper and really focuses on that second phase, which is all about singing high notes easily. So I'll link to it in the description down below as well. And have fun going through all of that. Thank you for being here today and for spending this time with me. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram. You know where to find me. And I'll see you here again next week. Same time, same place. Bye.